My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Monster Train 2. Ooh, do I get to do the new Hellhound? Do I get to do the new Hellhound Slayer line? I think is the one that was changed. Let me just very quickly pull up the thing that I was supposed to already have pulled up. No, you're unprepared. Alright, Hellhound. What has changed in your clan? A whole lot of cards. Alright. Impalate now does more damage. The ones that are minor just stat changes, I'll just very quickly cover. Like Alloy the Ancients, 5 more armor. Branding Right, 3 less damage. The Consumer of Crowns has converted its effect into an ability. Its cost is now 4, and it doesn't have the -1 ember per unit that is an imp in your deck. Instead, it has the ability Warlord's Tithe. Sacrifice an imp to attack immediately. Sick. I hope that doesn't have a cooldown, because it doesn't seem to in the sheet I'm looking at the moment. Fortify is now an equipment card rather than a spell called Fortified Pauldrons. Gives 6 armor on resolve, 6 more armor. Hornbreak does more damage. Hornbreaker Prince Reaper line now has an ability. The ability is called Culling, and attack immediately is what it says. It's got a cooldown of 6, then 3, then 1. Wrathful line also has higher stats by base, especially for its health, and gains a little more rage on early levels. Inferno does more damage, Molting Imp does more damage, Royalty, the Shardtail Queen line just has more stats by base, again. The Imperialist line for the Shardtail Queen, although not relevant to this run, as we do have the Hellhound Hornbreaker Prince, is action kill all units, is now an ability kill all imp units, deal damage. Sick. Absolutely. Yeah, being able to choose when you do that, and being able to especially do it before the enemies, so you can use it as AoE, really important. Spike the Hellhorn does 4 times armor and rage, and Vent does 5 damage. Like, so a lot of them were just small statistical bumps, just to, in general, increase the power level of the clan, because it was designed around MT1 bosses, not MT2. What about Underlegion? Did they have to change much in you? No, not at all. Just the champion line, so we're not even going to bother covering that. Proto Heartcage is our Pyre Heart, so no special abilities there, unfortunately. Seraph Eternus, Chosen of Savagery, is giving Rage 3 to enemy units. Well, it's going to be Rage 5. 6, actually, right? And Melee Weakness 2. 2 Fledgling Imps in the base deck, 2 Glow-Ups. Hell yeah, love having a little bit of ability to move my own line, and the Amorous Inoki. 1 Ember 2 size on Rally, apply 1 regen and 1 additional health to friendly units. So maybe an Endless Imp could be fun. Oh. These are the Slayer line? That said, I could get Brawler, I could get Multi-Strike, and then try and dip into the Slayer line later. Alternatively, I could just try and make the Hornbreaker Prince my front line. On Slay, gain armor. On Revenge, gain rage. Yeah, I'd be able to glow up to move the Hornbreaker Prince in front of Eager Conscripts, put an Amorous Inoki behind the Hornbreaker Prince, and then just spawn in the midline. It's fine. It's fine to middling. Oh boy. This is dangerous. Ancient Pyre Tap. When you're out of energy, cards can be played for their cost in Pyre health. Dante's Footstool. On deployment phase, draw a room card from your deck, reduces cost to 0. Now, would you believe that this relic contains this relic? All I have to do is make a card deployable and then just pay a little bit of HP for it. Let's take that Ancient Pyre Tap. Draw 1 less card each turn. Sure. Especially when you give me all these weak weenie enemies. Oh, hold up. Actually, it's just started this turn. Got to summon the Amorous Inoki first, so we trigger the Rally. And the Rally isn't triggered on the summon, is it? No, it is triggered on the summon. Cool. I haven't done this in a while. You gotta torch the Hornbreaker Prince, baby. You're not getting a slay here, but I suspect out of your regen and additional things, you'll end up being fine without it. Damn it. Okay, as long as I get the torch, we're fine. Fledgling, Eager Conscripts. 2 front lines die. One of them gets to hit the Hornbreaker. And Hornbreaker gets a slay in return. Just need to get a little bit of this armor going on. Eager Conscripts then glow up to move you to the front of the line, also stacking an additional regen and an additional rage. We'll get all the rest of them, so let's just say 3 HP here. That'll do it. I guess additional HP and regen on the front liner there does make a lot of sense. I suspect it's going to get worse over time, though, because you really can't project your damage. Like, I'm going to need to cross you with the Brawler line, ideally. Or heck, I guess maybe even the Reaper line. Maybe Hornbreaker Prince, because of the ability, now wants to go 2 different lines pretty much all of the time. Well, to help Hornbreak for just targeting a backline enemy unit's really good. Hidden Passage is fine. Overstacking on the top floor was much more relevant of a strategy, I feel, in Monster Train 1 than it is in Monster Train 2, where there's so much more on the bottom lines that the enemy summons that you really need to be dealing with the entire time, especially including those amalgams that just deal damage directly to your pyre. Like, you can't leave 2 empty floors on the bottom line and then run into, Raz. You run into Raz and then you run into the Savagery boss fight and you've taken 80 damage directly to your pyre just from the amalgams. It's not especially tenable, especially because those enemies that do that have a lot of health. So it's not something you can just knock out with the Hornbreak. That said, I'll take one. Truffles! This early? 1 ember, 1 size. Fetch. Cooldown 3, add a random equipment to your hand with Ephemeral and apply a -1 to its cost. I'm taking it. Absolutely, thank you kindly. Thrilled to have my boy. Magic Hellhorn. So yeah, we'll go Steel under Legion, that's fine. Yo. Okay. Ugh. Oh no. Okay, there's a couple things we can do here. One of the things we can do here that I feel bad for even suggesting, but we can skip the 1-turn cooldown on Fetch if we have an endless Truffles. Who, realistically, this means that Truffles never dies, not that Truffles dies every turn, but mechanically Truffles will die every turn and then go back to the top of the deck and then we summon Truffles and then use the ability again. So it's a way to mill out a huge amount of equipment. Now, that's, it'll be relevant to do that 3 times, piece of equipment for each of the people on our bottom line. After that, Smidgestone is probably more relevant to something from... Hello, it's Balmabello. Damn, Cluster Kernel's here offering the Resolve Spawn 4 as well, though. Balmabello, 3 Ember 2 size, Regen 6, Spike 6. On Extinguish, apply this unit's buff stacks to friendly units. I like that, because it's a way to give spikes to Hellhorned Prince in this. Like, I can one-size you, summon you in front of the Hornbreaker Prince, and then just when you die... God, I guess we're hoping that you die, because you might never die, in which case Hornbreaker Prince is just screwed. No. You see Balmabello, you make Balmabello happen. I'm gonna one-size Balmabello. I'll probably hold to look for dualism Other than that, I am going to do the Endless Truffles. I think that's like a really good idea. Plus 14 damage, totally appropriate for the Amarasanoki, and then we'll run away. I've got a lot of value here. I don't really need to be too greedy right now, I don't think. Yeah. Amarasanoki, Balmabello, a Hornbreaker champion. And musical guest, the Shield Stewards. I'll summon them just because, yeah. I forgot about those, actually. That is not why I actually summoned them. Get Truffles on the top line. That is Lava Armor. On Revenge, apply 3 Fire Gel to the attacker. Damn, I guess I will actually move the Shield Steward forward. Save myself a little more health on that top line. That'll do it. Whoop. I'm not going to pay Pyre health for any of those, thank you. I will just be playing the one. That'll do. Oh. Hold up. Yeah, I'm stopping the spikes from hitting. That's what I'm doing on that bottom line there. Oops, oops, oops. Completely fine. Just shuffle some stuff around. I don't end up losing Truffles next turn. I don't need to lose Truffles next turn, because his bottom line is going to win. See. Ooh, meat shields. Ain't that fun? Thankfully, the cards that we have in the deck are so busted that we didn't really have to play a strategic line there. Fortified Pauldron, 0 Ember, Armor 6. On Resolve, gain Armor 6. I think that's just a very, very effective... Like, it's 0. I'm really kind of surprised it's 0 still, but I'm not going to argue with it. It's just, is it good in a world where I'm also going to be using Truffles consistently? Yes, it is. You always want a frontliner to have some way of managing their health. Pauldrons will do that. Gooey Flask, Infectory. I mean, you know, Infectory could go on the bottom line, but again, I do need to use a Glow Up to move the lines around. But then, Amarasanoki really does want to see that done. I don't know, maybe it's just spawning pods. Just get a card that spawns a bunch of them at the same time. I don't think I will go for Merchant of Arms. I'm not downgrading or downplaying the power of equipment and rooms right now. It's just, I have a lot of equipment access in the deck. So adding additional equipment to the deck is a little less impactful, and I definitely have spells that I would really, really care about modifying. Consume, remove this. Give this even holdover or maybe permafrost to hold it for the right targets. Obviously, 0 costing any of the eager conscripts is going to be worth its weight. Oh, yes, yes. Remove consume. I suspect the answer here is to reroll, then take the Smolder Stone for the -2 cost on spawning pods. It's probably the most impactful of these. I could also hit Freeze Stone on Hornbreak and just have that available for... You know what? Yeah, actually. Freeze Stone the Hornbreak. I'm going to have that available when it's necessary. Steelworker Alpha Fiend. I really like Steelworker. I would like to find someone to go on your line. Like, currently, what we would do is probably, like, defend the Alpha Fiend with a Endless Truffles or Eager Conscript. Merchant of Steel under Legion. That's interesting. I'm probably going to go to that as well. So am I more likely to find a damage dealing unit, or am I more likely to find a healthy unit? I have to take the Alpha Fiend. I don't think I have enough access to damage in the deck so far. And if I just get, like, completely choked out on access to that, Amorous Inoki's never going to do that much damage. Balmabello is, at best, doing 6 damage in range with the spikes. Hornbreaker Prince is currently not taking the damage in the early fight. Like, there's a lot of weaknesses going on here. Gotta shore some of them up. That's a new Spike of the Hellhorn. 4 times armor and 4 times rage rather than 3. Spike of the Banished. 4x Valor. Especially good to put the Valor on Balmabello, and then to have Balmabello die and give that Valor to the other units on the floor. Oh, Spike of Legion, consume to propagate 2x. That's even better. Especially because I don't want the Valor on Balmabello to keep Balmabello alive. I want Balmabello to die. God damn it, why won't you die? Because behind this mask lies more than a man, Mr. Creedy. Behind this mask lies an idea, and ideas are bulletproof. Anyone else watch that movie 3 times the night they rented it from the Blockbuster? No, just me. All right, cool. Hornbreaker Prince and Balmabello. I don't think I need to summon additional ones right now. Although I will admit Balmabello should have been down second. This is great. Spawning pods, and then I get the glow up. I get my fungi in the right position. Not the perfect position, certainly. I'd like to have Hornbreaker Prince ahead of them as well, but do what you can. Oh, hold up. We actually do have a glow up here, so I can pop you back to the front, taking out the Savage Spearman. I should drop a Spear Steward on the second floor, I think. And a needed Conscript there to block it. I'm just going to let the Shield Bearer go to the top line. It'll get to hit me 3 times, but I really don't care. Six on the fungi? Adds a lot more damage to the floor. Give some rage to my own Hornbreaker Prince there. This'll do to stop the next 4 damage at least. Ooh. Well, hello, Truffles. Thank you for the Lunar Cycle Staff. A piece of equipment that does currently 0 damage, but it's okay because in the future it will do 0 damage. Oh wow, we actually end up losing the entire bottom line. I'm not especially surprised, because Bombabello is at the back, and that's the worst position for you, and I didn't get either of the glow-ups to move you back front, but I also don't have to do anything about it. This guy dies hitting our spikes. Got him. With the spikes. Hey, guess who's ungilded? Last stand, 3 Ember consumed, double the amount of rage on friendly units. Oh, Dark Deal, deal 5 damage, apply rage 7. Incredible way to pump the rage on Hornbreaker Prince, who does additional rage on Revenge. I think I need this before I need this, and even though I do want to gild the last stand, that's going to happen over the natural course of play. Whoa! Enchantrel. 3 Ember, 2 size. On rally, apply stat 1 to enemy units. That's actually probably a really bad idea for me. On rally. Yeah, that's not good. Because it'll prevent the enemies from attacking, so I won't ever be able to hit revenge triggers, and they won't be able to hit my spikes. So unless I'm overdoing this in order to sap the enemies to the point that they're not doing any damage, I'm not going to want it right now. Also, I have gilded you. You are a fun card, but I don't need to take you just for the novelty here. Rail Beater versus Prickly Popple. Probably Rail Beater of these two for the Alpha Fiend's sake. I do like the additional energy. Realistically, I feel like my floors are wrong. I feel like my bottom floor does need more space, and having enough space in order to both have, you know, fledgling imps that I can play as chump blockers if I want to, and conscripts that I can summon on the bottom line and things like that. I think that's pretty important. Maybe I'm going capacity. Alpha Fiend behind Rail Beater. I could be chump blocking with Truffles on the bottom line. I guess the real problem is that Bombabello's not dying. And if I want you to have value on the Hornbreaker Prince line, if I want the Hornbreaker Prince to be able to succeed, I need Bombabello to die. How do I engineer that appropriately? Give a bunch of damage to Dark Deal and then constantly play that on Bombabello would be a fun way to do it. Where am I going next? Under Legion banner. Yeah, alright, I'll take the Heaven's Light. Mossy Stone, plus 10 HP and plus 10 regen, obviously pretty ridiculous on Bombabello here, but I'd love not to do it. Quicken plus 10 damage definitely goes on the Alpha Fiend. I could also minimize the size of the Alpha Fiend. Let's have a look at our champion line first. Brawler has double strike now. Yeah, it gives you the capability of getting many more slays. Gotta hybridize there, I think. Too many units that want to be hit. I feel like Bombabello, maybe I just shouldn't keep you on the Hornbreaker Prince line anymore. In which case, that's like a sweep line, which is kind of antithetical to what the Hornbreaker Prince wants to do. Do I want another of any of these? Because I suspect the answer is no. We'll one size and give Quick to Alpha Fiend. Send health and regen on that. No. Plus 14. Again on the Amorous Inoki. Why not? Alright, I think our lines need to be completely different now. So I'm thinking something along the lines of Alpha Fiend, Hornbreaker Prince, and Rail Beater are the bottom line. And then we summon Amorous Inoki and Balmer Bellow to the second. Right, with a quick striking Alpha Fiend, the Rail Beater is no longer adding its melee weakness before anything. I guess it's adding it before Balmer Bellow on the next floor. Everything's kind of out of sync here. Oops. That'll do, bud. Actually, hold up. I'm gonna burn the Calcified Ember and then pay 1 for the Discordant Toll. One Spear Steward. 2 Spear Steward. Is there a combination of those that will allow me to collect the Collector? So you hit, then you get hit with 15. 15, 30. Also, you're taking 6, so it's 36 damage that you'll be taking by that point. So it's 63 that you have left over. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to collect the Collector. Tough. Would have been nice. I'd love to be getting more armor than that on Hornbreaker Prince at the moment. Thankfully, the Fortified Baldrons are here to help. Yeah, I'll jump lock to prevent some damage there. Seems necessary at this point. Nice. I have too many powerful cards, and I'm trying to decide what to do with some of them. Like, do I dupe another Alpha Fiend and then put the second Alpha Fiend behind on the bottom line? So these are good for, like, scaling down the enemies a little bit, and then the Hornbreaker Prince runs over the top and finishes them. These eventually have both scaled really high. So is the Hornbreaker Prince on that line. Like, Balmer Bellow and Amorous Inoki feels irrelevant to that plan. Important work. Obviously fine some of the time. The Fledgling Imps don't have Endless, though. Rage Serum, March of Shields is pretty good, though. I'll take that. Grow Room. All units propagate 1 at the end of combat. Yes, please. Very good on Balmer Bellow's floor. We have an Empyrean Well, which feels like the Empyrean Well is kind of begging me to dupe the Alpha Fiend. Gives me good additional scaling. Putting the fortified pauldrons in the opening hand just to throw it on the Hornbreaker Prince also seems like a decent idea. Seems like that'd become more and more important over time as well. Okay, let's do that. Summon triggers an additional time, says the Ashes of the Fallen, though. Currently, that's still just the imps. Yeah, that's just the imps. But I have no decay in the deck, so I may as well go with it. Weapons cache. When you summon a friendly unit, draw an equipment card and apply -2 to its cost. Do I want to do that? They nerfed the card, by the way. Obviously, they had to. But if I do that, I'd put it in my opening hand, and then I'd also get the diadem, I'd re-roll, and then I'd just take any equipment I find. You know what? Yeah. Do it. Do it, no? You won't. How dare you? Overgrowth Carapace is too expensive. How dare you? Ooh. Rage 5. Permanently gain Rage 1 on Revenge. Oh, Savage Spirit got upgraded as well. Now it gets 40 additional health, as well as 2 damage for every missing HP. That's a lot better. I think I'm going to take Savage Heart and throw that on Balm of Bellow. I really wish I could have waited and gotten Dualism or something on you first, but I feel like that'll be important enough to do. Non-boss enemy in each wave gains reanimate. Also, someone told me that there's a default to time trial default on. Wait, is there not a default for turning on the normal trials? Time trial on. I've been lied to. I think maybe someone misread the notes of the other one. Savage Shackles. So, I pay a decent amount of HP to do this, but Weapons Cache, Hornbreaker Prince. Oh my god, Weapons Cache is a summon trigger. When you summon a friendly unit, draw an equipment, apply -2 cost. Interesting. Not at all what I thought was the case. I don't think Rail Beater is almost relevant at all right now. I'll keep the Hornbreak. No need to do anything about that. Get him. Groom definitely goes on that floor. Glow up for some more spikes. Those Undying Wretches are going to get to the next line. That's okay, though. That's fine. I'll chump Truffles and then throw Fledgling Imp on the top line, gain my free equipment. Mind Cage. Kind of want to put that on Truffles, but... Do I want to commit to Truffles? Yeah, sure. There you go, Truffles. You survive. You enjoy that, buddy. I just need to get as much permanent rage on Bombabello as possible. That is where we're really going to ball out of control here. Got him. Bunch more revenge triggers. Higher jumper. Yes, summon gain 8 energy, please. Battleground, spawn 1, additional for each card. Consume bile. Very few, unfortunately. I'll skip and take the money on that one. I'd really like an opportunity to go to another Merchant of Arms and just buy out a bunch of equipment. It's going to be difficult for a Merchant of Steel to really change my fortunes right now. Additional health for the fire is really important. Start a turn, friendly units all propagate once. Huge. Attuned Whetstone. I'm really trying not to use you, basically. I'll take a Jack Strips. Jack Strips good. Then card removal from the deck. I mean, the Spear Stewards basically have no place in this. All right, Kale. Let's go, buddy. I don't feel like weapons cash right now is worth it. It's summoning 2 pieces of equipment and it's saving me 1 Ember total. So I'll be playing it at a later date. That's a Dragon Star. On in-can deal 1 damage to enemy units. Interesting. I'm gonna put that on Hornbreaker Prince for a moment. Then spawning pods, torch, and then glow up to move you back to the front, which will cause you to slay, giving yourself 10 armor. I will change something about that, and it's just the torch target is going to be Hornbreaker Prince instead. Thanks, Truffles. Give a unit Burnout 1 and Multi-Strike 1. Unfortunately, I can give that to Bombabello, but then Bombabello gives Burnout 1 to another unit, and then everything gets worse. So I think we'll just have to let that one ephemeralize. I'm gonna... Whoa! That was enough damage to cause death on the bottom line. I will not do that then, thank you. Save us, Truffles! Cursed Twin Blade. Sounds good to me. Cursed Twin Blade, now another multi-strike for Hornbreaker Prince, who's going to be able to slay a decent amount this turn. Oh no. I didn't realize the calamity that is upon us on the floor above this that I need to resolve. This Chosen Bastion screws us. Obviously, it killing Bomber Bellow is pretty cool, gives a bunch of rage to the floor, but that only really matters if I have units to hold that rage. Stoic Blackmail. Yeah, like that can deal with the bottom line for us, that's fine. Okay, there goes. We did manage to score the Chosen Bastion on this floor, which is all I really need to do because you have Titan Skin 15 and 33 damage. So you'd go to the top line and you would take a while to kill and I'd die in the meantime. So I'd prefer that one not to happen. Let's silence the Spear Steward, who has no abilities anyway. Yes, I suspect I have enough armor on the bottom line to do that. Definitely not enough armor to survive that, though. I think I need to know what equipment Truffles gives me. Oh, lava armor. That goes on Truffles. And then 1, 2, 3. Bunch of additional slays. The Hornbreaker Prince. I mean, sure, I can throw a Spike of Legion on that floor. It's not going to be that important, though. It won't do anything. It's fine. Got all the important targets on the bottom line. Nothing to argue about there. Let's go. Truffles. Glutton's Maw. I've got to say, yes. So Glutton's Maw, destroy a friendly unit, and gain +15/+15. Triggers Gorge and Eaten. You want that else? It triggers? Triggers Slay. Glutton's Maw is an insane hit right there. Also, it's got a cooldown of 1 turn, which is real good as well. That's fun. I'm going to summon Truffles. I'm going to get a weapon from Truffles. I'm going to eat Truffles. Delicious Truffles. Meat shield, 15 health, restore. Little additional. It's not really going to do that much. I want additional health on you. Some additional armor consistently on you. That'll have to do it. I'm gonna need more units surviving if I want that to be part of my strategy. Alright, Truffles summon. Get the weapon from Truffles. Eat Truffles. Delectable. So good. Get him, Hornbreaker. Rage Room! Rage Room! Rage Room! 1 Ember. Friendly units gain Rage 2 on Strike and Revenge. Yeah. I mean, come on, how do you not? It's the new room. I would like additional Ember, but realistically, I don't need it. And I can get it by other things that I'm about to just go to a buy remains anyway, so... I kind of want to go Merchant of Arms. Like, legitimately. See if I can just fill the deck with so much equipment. But the thing is, then I really want to summon all of my banner units on the first turn as well, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then get equipment for each of them, so it's just 5 pieces of equipment, basically, and then Truffles is just there doing what? Truffles doesn't need to be a consistent part of the strategy. It was just the going thing earlier. I want to get card draw, but card draw wants me to have more energy. I'm taking the card draw. It's fine. I can approximate the extra energy. Iron Tongue. Sweet. This unit's damage is set to 30 and cannot be changed. Is that really good on it? I mean, it's pretty good on Rail Beater. It's pretty good on Rail Beater. What? Well, I guess this says and cannot be changed. So it would override Equalizing Rings, I imagine. Equalizing Rings is not a piece of equipment I want for this deck, though. I'll take Iron Tongue. Void Amendment. Good piece of equipment to throw on a Alpha Fiend early, especially. I don't think I want a Bloodthirsty Blade, though. Slightly higher scaling, or way more damage. I think I would be totally it would be totally reasonable, rather, is the word I was looking for there. To make another Alpha Fiend. Throwing on the bottom line. Rage Wings, you say? That seems really annoying. How do I want to deal with that? Because they will kill Alpha Fiend pretty quickly. However, I can't fight on the top floor and just let the Jackstrips kill them, because then Raz will kill me. Yeah, I think I know it. Weapons Cache, Hornbreaker Prince. Balm of Bellow. Then Alpha Fiend, Alpha Fiend. And one of you gets a sweep. Throw Amorous and Noki Rail Beater on this line. You can have the Diadem. And Void Armament for the Alpha Fiend to the backline to give it multi-strike. So now the frontline one has Quick and Sweep, so he's doing 30 damage to all enemy units. The only problem is the Ragewing Assassin that's chosen. And for that, all I'm going to need to do is have a Rage Room so that the Alpha Fiend is going to not gain any more damage because it can't, because that's what Iron Tongue does. This is going to be a little tough at that point then. It's going to be a little sticky sitchy for us to have to deal with. Mink Shield. Oh, if only I had the Fire Jumper this turn for the Spike of the Legion debuff. Got him. Sadly, no one really has an ability that's going to be surviving the turn. Oh, Hef's Hammer. On Slay out of capacity this floor. That's not going great. Hornbreak Fledgling. I think Spear Steward then Fledgling actually might be enough. There we go, with the double summon trigger. I'll take the hit on this to do Spike the Legion for 4 on Bomber Bello. And then just end the turn. Propagating 14 regen to all units behind you, as well as 20 spikes to all units behind you, and 61 rage to all units behind you, I think should give us enough damage to be able to take out Raz without a problem. Yeah, there it is. Cursed Twin Blade again. Yeah, there you go. So that Alpha Fiend was building damage the whole time on every single strike. It's just I have to replace its equipment to then be able to access the damage straight. That's cool. A little bit modal there. And we'll get our 75 gold from that. 400 as well. Ooh. Is this a good opportunity to Guild Inferno? I need to do it eventually, but Impish Scholar certainly seems like a much better choice here. Mainly for bringing back the Spike of the Legion, to be frank. Yeah, what floor would I even be playing Inferno on? Fury Deathcap, Fertile Ground. And Pandemic. Given that I want to go to another Merchant of Arms, I think none of these, maybe? I'm gonna do it. Especially because the Merchant of Steel has almost no value for me right now. Yeah, these are interesting. Unbroken Horn, conserve energy between turns in deployment phase, as well as Artificial Python, 3 additional deployment ember. Helps our Pyre Chompers energy never to be lost, and obviously saves us a lot of Pyre health. I could also just re-roll and accept that I'll be taking Pyre damage to play my best cards. I think there is especially because it's only, one more fight for Seraph and then one more fight for the Titans. I think there's a reasonable argument that says this is 150 health, 150 money, rather, in order to heal 6 to the Pyre. And a similar argument could be made about the Unbroken Horn there. I think Consumed Crown could be a good way to get a little bit of additional scaling for us. And then I'm going to reroll. Demon units get multi-strike 1! Yeah, that's why you do it! That's why you don't spend all your money there. Gurg's Goad immediately giving multi-strike to both the Alpha Fiends. We've also got the Ancient Roots. That's also another reason to do the reroll there because of the ridiculously busted Underlegion relics. Ancient Roots, first Spellblade each turn, costs -1 for every 15 cards in your deck. So -2 for us. A Stasis Crystal! Yes, please. It's also Stoic Plate Mail, Enchanted Chamber. I think I need to make Rage Room deployable because you do the other room and then you pull out all of these cards of the deck and then you... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, one more piece of equipment. Stoke Plate Mail, why not? It really feels like I should dupe another Alpha Fiend for the bottom line now. And so I will. Why not? What's gonna stop me from playing it? 2 health? That doesn't seem likely. Weapons Cache. Hornbreaker Prince. Yum. Then, it's a little Amerson Noki and Balm of Bellow, and then Alpha Fiend. Then Alpha Fiend. And then, excuse me, and then Alpha Fiend. We run out of, cool. Stasis Crystal, probably next floor if I had to guess. Oh, maybe for Rail Beater, actually. Do I need Balm of Bellow on the next floor down? No, because my Quick Striker with Sweet is already going to be destroying all of the Savage. No good place to really put the Stoic Plate Mail, I think. And then replace the room on the bottom. That's going to be a whole lot more damage scaling. Spear Steward and the Plate Mail, perfect. Yeah, so now the Alpha Fiend is attacking twice, courtesy of the multi-strike from Gurg's Goad, so we are taking out the Chosen Assassin in time, which is great news. Definitely got a weaker in our frontliner there, but... that'll get it done. Eager Conscript for this line. Keeps everyone alive. We can get rid of Savage Shackles. The only problem is the Impish Scholar isn't really still gonna change much. Am I even capable of... Yep. If I just jump block with absolutely everything, I can stop the Hornbreaker Prince from getting slain here. Which will be worth it, because as soon as I can get that Hornbreaker Prince to actually start slaying some enemies and scaling, everything's back online. There you go, buddy. Summon a conscript on the bottom line. Yeah, I don't need to scale your health. I just need to scale your damage, buddy. Is it time to emerge the Rail Beater? I think not. Well, I could give a bunch of additional rage to that field. Alright, fine. Especially because if Balmabello dies, it turns the multi-striker into an absolute beast. Huge deal of damage we managed to get done there. I always knew we were eventually going to be at the point where the Alpha Fiends were going to be doing enough damage to the enemies that the Hornbreaker Prince wouldn't really get to attack. I don't think we're there yet, though. It's our grow room. Void armament, you say? Maybe if I wanted to purge the spear stewards on the top line. Could definitely see using it for that. Welcome back to Truffles. Dusk Mantle, New Moon Titan Skin 5. You know what? Yeah. We'll pop that on the Hornbreaker Prince. And then you'll have Titan Skin 5 next turn. Pretty much ideal timing. Hell yeah. That's what we wanted to see. Just absolutely destroying all of the enemies before they can even put any risk on my Void Armament. Which also means, yeah, this Alpha Fiend has way higher damage than it says. It's got a 30/2 written on the actual card, but because Sweep allows it to strike every enemy unit at the same time, it's actually got 875 damage by 2. Maybe I should leave a... Ooh. Maybe late on, definitely not in this fight where I definitely still need the hits to take out the Chosen Assassin, but maybe there's a certain point where we can transition out into just having this Alpha Fiend do damage. It always is a little lamentable to have a Balmabello in a run where everyone would benefit so much from Balmabello dying, but you just can't find a goddamn way to kill the man. Buddy, everyone wants you dead. Just have the have the goddamn pride to do it. I think maybe I throw Bombabello on the bottom line this time. I think I prefer that. One of you needs the Iron Soul. One of you needs the armament. Do I drop Stasis Crystal on Hornbreaker Prince, maybe? You know what? Yeah. I guess so. By the looks of it, I'll be able to use my Hornbreak to take out the Bombabello next time. Sounds good. Although, I'll save it from a little bit of damage here. And I'll just play March of Shields on the next floor before I do that. To spike the Legion as large as I can get it on Bombabello. This is going to be really important. I'm going to let both of those Ghosts of Entropy explode because I really don't want to set my units. I think this is the turn I do it. So we'll break out Hornbreaker Prince, and then damage Bombabello enough. You are now going to die. Truffles hits this lines. This is a new Void Armament. A shiny new Void Armament. For my own arms. Use that. Perfect. Bombabello is going to die, transferring 78 stacks of Rage. 13 spikes and 11 regen to all other units on the floor, including the Hornbreaker Prince, who now will slay enemies on spikes. Although I guess that's not really going to happen that much with the Alpha Fiend already having the sweep. That's okay, maybe I replace that equipment. Could be good, could be fun. Higher jumper this turn? I don't know about that. Ooh, Overgrown Carapace. Throw that on the Alpha Fiend, maybe? Yeah. Have you grown size the old traditional way? So that's almost all of Entropy and Savagery dead. Start throwing some spell shields against the minion. Oh, hell yeah. Second Stoic Plate Mail. Put it on Troubles just to chump the block for that floor, and then Eager Conscript and use it to chump the block for this floor. Good fun. I do suspect I'm probably at the point where I should probably play some of these Curses of Entropy, rather than just lose all of the health I've ever seen. Always got to play the Pyrelight. It's basically the only guarantee I need to do every turn. But it's going to be more than enough already. Frostpiercer! Strike, apply Frostbite equal to half the damage dealt. Yeah, Hornbreaker Prince, apply the most Frostbite in the game, please. Unfortunately, we're not really hitting anyone, so the Frostbite's not doing anything. Sad. That's it. Highlight gets us there. On resolution, this one is done. It's a pretty big Alpha Fiend. Bombabello with 43 rage permanently. Obviously quite nice. I'm glad that we actually got to kill you in the final fight as well. But realistically, how could it be said that this run is anything except for the ridiculous amount of energy and weaponry and card draw that is given to us on deployment phase from having a weapons cache, as well as Ancient Pyre Tap, to be fair? Just immediately pulling out Exile's Diadem at 0 cost, Iron Tongue at 0 cost. I mean, I think it's worth even pulling these up to show their modified costs right now. There was a Stasis Crystal in it too, a Stoic Plate Mail that we didn't use very effectively. All courtesy of the weapons cache. Are we guilding that and Rage Room, I think, at the moment? Just weapons cache and Rage Room. Can't hardly complain, though. I think this run is a really good example of how much impact there is in adding equipment and additional rooms. Hell, we did go to a bunch of Merchants of Arms in the final leg of the run. And instead of just seeing the same 2 GD pieces of equipment constantly, we saw a giant variety. That was great fun. Jump back to the outpost. Again, lament the fact that the events aren't here. Hopefully there's a DLC later on that does include a lot more of them, but in the meantime, my name's Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is the series playlist for all my content of the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsyPlays. Out above the thank tier, and a special thanks this episode to Jazzy. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.